If you'd like to support this channel, we invite you to check us out on Patreon. Thank you so much. So tonight I am going to spray out my pre-emergent. I'm already behind because here in Central Texas, San Antonio, stuff starts warming up a little earlier than West Texas. And so there's already weeds. Of course, there was already weeds and stuff here. So this is not the most ideal situation, obviously, but it's going to be the first application I put down for now. So here's my plan is, I've showed you guys before, it's just weeds and field grass. The backyard right now is my main concern. It's mainly just dirt. And so what I'm thinking about with dirt is that's a prime way for weed seeds and things to blow in and start germinating. And so I want to get a grasp on that. I want to keep any kind of crabgrass down that's going to be shooting up. And dandelions I'm starting to see some of. I've already starting to see some poania starting to come up. So there's going to be a lot of things in this backyard we're going to find this year. So I'm going to go with my usual routine, which is I use the Thalapyr, where everyone else uses Prodiamine. They both work great. I really like this one. It gives you a lot of coverage, probably more than the typical homeowner needs, but I really like the precision of it that I've been able to keep and maintain with poania in the bent grass I had on the putting green. And so it has proven time and time again to do really, really well for me with the stuff I'm trying to target. So like I said, they both work equally well, but the Thalapyr is the one I like to go with. And so I went out earlier, did some calculations on the backyard and just used a rangefinder just to get a rough guess on the square footage, and it's roughly about 8,000 square feet. So my last home in its entirety was 5,000 square feet, so to have 8 in the back is really nice. The kids have lots of room to play, maybe a putting green one day, and who knows what else, right? So I've done the math on Program 2. It's the one I'm going to use. That's for low-cut turf. I know this isn't low-cut turf, but like I said, it's a lot of bare dirt, as if it were low-cut turf, I guess you could say. So I'm kind of 50-50. I could go heavy and do a heavy application, or just go with the normal routine of low-cut turf and kind of a maintenance application, I guess, is what I'm after. Because I don't want to get too much of this stuff in the ground in case I decide to seed later, not within the next month or anything. But if I decide to do a renovation back there with seed, I want to be able to till that stuff out and not worry about having too much of this in the ground. So anyway, I'm gonna get this stuff ready. I've got 8,000 square feet, and that comes out to roughly about 130 grams of product that I need. So I'm just gonna weigh it out, scoop it out here on the scale, and then we'll go mix it up in our tank. So one thing I just want to bring up is the stuff you buy at Home Depot and Lowe's, okay? If you guys don't realize this, that stuff's kind of idiot proof, right? So, spraying it without a mask, glasses, PPE, whatever, it's not that big a deal. But when you're spraying professional products, take this seriously and, protect your lungs. This stuff is things you don't want spraying around and drifting into your lungs, your eyes, things like that. So these are a lot more stout. If you really get down and look at the labels and compare them to what you can buy at like Home Depot and Lowe's, there's a significant difference. And you just want to be smart about it. And another thing is, more and more of the DIY lawn care starting to use professional products. And if we're not all careful with it, there's going to be all kinds of legislation and make it just about impossible for us to get it without a license. So be smart with it for all of our sake, and just be good with it. All right, so I tested this out earlier, and I used about a gallon of water per 1,000 square feet. And so that was 8 gallons of water. And then I know from past experience, it takes about another 2 gallons because you're gonna have some residual left over. And I could usually get down to about a gallon with my setup But just to have a little bit of buffer, I'm gonna add 2 more gallons. So 10 gallons of water is what I'm aiming for here. And so I'm going to pour that powder in here a little bit at a time while it's agitating, while also adding some water into the tank. Because if you just clump it all in there, it just goes to the bottom. So you want to have time to circulate a little bit so it doesn't get clogged up, and it'll reduce, you know, the agitation time as well. I'm gonna let that mix up and agitate for a little while. You can see it's powder and it kind of sit in the tank clumpy. And one thing to note, I already had water. I already had about 8 gallons in the tank to begin with. You always want to have some water in your tank before you mix it up in the first place. So add water in there, mixed it up, add some more water to get us to 10 gallons. So now we're ready to go. So I'm gonna let that run and get agitated, and we're gonna go ahead and head out to the backyard and get this thing going. So tonight is not ideal for this at all. It's been blowing about 15 to 20 miles an hour all day, but there's a good chance of rain coming tomorrow. So that's why I need to get this down, because I don't have an irrigation system. So I really need that water to help wash this stuff in. So one thing we spent the day doing today is getting all the leaves cleaned up and picked up, because if you don't get the leaves up, you're just spraying material on the leaves. And once the leaves blow away, there's no material or no application getting down onto the grass. So make sure you clean up your leaves before you do this first. So I ran out of daylight, but we got it all down, so I'm happy to have it down, you know, in the backyard instead of not getting any at all this year. So that should really help with some of the weeds and things that are going to want to come in on me this year. But guys, I know here it is mid-March, spring break time, so happy spring to you guys. I hope you guys enjoy cutting some real grass for me while I'm out here playing in the dirt, but we'll get it all nice one of these days. It's going to be a big long project, but it should be a lot of fun and really nice reward in the end of it. So you guys stick around. There's gonna be more to come for the ugliest lawn on the block. But that's gonna do it for this one. We'll see you in the next one.